Hey guys, and welcome to game number 50 out of 100 of my Human vs. AI series, where I'm taking on the AI-powered Scrabble bot BestBot in a 100-game match. This is officially the halfway point of the series, which is very exciting. We're currently 20 and 29, so hopefully we can get a win here to finish off the first half, which will give us 21 wins through 50 games. So we'd be on pace to win 42 games, which is not terrible. I mean, it's over 40, which is good. I was certainly hoping for a few more than that, but you know, we gotta take what we can get, and it's not going to be easy, though, because the bot starts out with Flea Pit as an 82-point bingo. Now, the good news is I have Absent plus a blank, so I'm definitely going to be bingoing. The question is, can I bingo with Flea Pits in a way that is a double-double? So with the S in the fourth spot. Yeah, I can, with Batsman, so that's almost certainly going to be my best play, 95 points. Definitely not going to get more than that. Even if I have a double-double through the L, that would only be 86, because I don't get the points for hooking Flea Pits. So yeah, let's not think too much here. This looks pretty solid. And what do I have here? Probably not much. A little bit too Val heavy. I almost have Meowed. And Keto comes down almost instantly by the bot. So I was going to play Meow for sure next to the E and Batsman there, setting up my S very nicely. But unfortunately, that is now not an option. I can't play it to the right because NI is not good. So alright, let's see. Back to the drawing board here. What do I want to do? Obviously, I want to get rid of a couple vowels. I'd like to save the S unless I have something considerably better that uses it. Do I have a double-double through this L as a non-bingo? Probably not. What I usually do here, if I'm trying to find a double-double like this, is I know I'm going to need to use 6 out of my 7 tiles, so I just sort of go one tile at a time, thinking, if that tile is not involved, do I have something? So I can take out the A. Is there anything in E-I-M-O-L-S-U? No, there's not. Then I'd look at the E, etc., and I'm pretty sure there is nothing. So, alright, if there's nothing there, I don't have anywhere else to really play Meow, unfortunately. I mean, I could play it like this, but that's a lot worse. Gets rid of the E, which is certainly not ideal. I don't really want to play Luma over here. It gives back such a big scoring spot on the D column next to this A, especially if the bot has pulled a Z or something like that. So I'm not too keen on that. Yeah, I still haven't seen any options I'm particularly happy about. Have anything with Oka over here? Not really. The problem is I just don't have enough consonants to hook both ET and OM. Maybe something here? I have this. Keeps OSU though. That's so bad. Yeah, I have no idea here. Just not, like I said, not a lot of good options now that Meow got blocked. Like, shockingly few good options. Opium for 9? That seems... I mean, maybe it's not crazy. It does give me a nice S-hook. It honestly might not be the worst play ever. Luma is definitely better equity, but I like this better just because it doesn't give back that scoring spot. I also slightly prefer AES to IES just because the I's are so much worse if they get duplicated. So I don't think, like, yeah, I hate scoring 9 points. I don't think it's crazy. Is it better than just playing Meow here, though? Honestly, probably not. I don't think EAS is 9 points better than AIS, and Meow does set up several S-hooks as well for myself. So Meow is probably still better than Opium. Yeah, 9 is a lot to give up, I think, just for that difference in leave. I also do have an E to work with Flea Pits. So I think, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and play Meow. It seems better than, well, is it better than Moo, actually? Because Moo gives me another E to work with for bingoing, which I might like with this leave. Although it also gives a lot more back to the bot, potentially. So I think Meow is fine. It's also a little bit tougher to overlap with the U there, and I want to make sure that the S-hooks stay open. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Meow. And, alright, I don't know if I have anything here with 2 G's. I'm pretty sure I don't. Draggies? That's not a word. Yeah, I don't think so. Unfortunately. Yeah, those 2 G's are a little bit clunky. So I'll probably just want to play IG or Gig somewhere and get rid of these if I can. I guess I can't play Gig here. I can play Gid, but that still keeps a G, which isn't ideal. So we're just going to have to see what the bot does and go from there. Alright, the bot has played lemur for 22, opening up a pretty big S-hook. So, interesting play. I've got to decide now, do I think the bot has an S, or do I think the bot just had a bunch of one-pointers that didn't go well together and lemur was way better than anything else? Certainly both are possible. I'm not really inclined to just cash in. I mean, I could play something like Iggs for 26, but that's not particularly exciting. I mean, it's not terrible, though. It does keep ARD, which is a pretty good lead, especially with an E floating still. It's honestly not a terrible idea, I don't think, because my other options are just not great. It's not easy to get rid of both of these Gs. Again, I can still play Gid for 20. This leave is not bad. If I draw an N, of course, it becomes a fantastic leave. Yeah, this probably has enough upside to still be worth it. I mean, I have lemurs, I still have meows, I have a lot of floaters and flea pits. This must bingo considerably more than cashing in lemurs immediately, and I think, I mean, he got 22 points for it with LUR. Those are 3 very difficult tiles, especially if he had some duplicates, so I think there's a decent enough chance that lemur could come down without holding an S, that I feel like it's fine to just do this and be a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, I mean, if lemur scored a lot less, I'd probably be more alarmed and thinking the bot almost certainly had an S, but for 22 points, again, with 3 clunky one-pointers, I think it's possible that the bot would play it without an S. Alright, so I draw the J now. So probably still no bingos here, but now it'll almost certainly be worth it to cash this in. Divot comes down for 29. Yeah, I mean, Jigs is probably just too many points not to take, unless I have something through this U. Almost Jaguar. Anything here? Like, no, it doesn't quite work. Can't get to the double there. Yeah, Jug is not worth it. I mean, Jigs is over 40 points. It's 44 points. That's a lot to pass up. Like, yeah, there's a lot of upside, obviously, if I do play Jig. Or Jug here, rather. It's 21 fewer points, so that just feels like way too much to give up. And it's not like this leave is bad, right? ARM is still a really good leave. So I feel like I'm leaning towards Jigs. There's nothing through this D, though, right? Like, almost Jades or Jadish or something like that. Masjid, but that doesn't really accomplish all that much. So yeah, I think just Jigs here. Like I said, I don't want to be too greedy. And now that I can score 44 points, I think I'm better off taking that. And like I said, I still keep a good leave. So let's do that. And I draw another S, so that certainly worked out. Do I have a bingo here? Uremia's through a U does not fit. Madeira's through a D does not fit. Nothing through an F or an L as far as I know. Supremia through a P, but that's blocked off. Yeah, I don't think anything plays. Ramifies doesn't quite work. Airframe doesn't quite work. Huh. Yeah, I feel like I should have something, but I just don't think I do. There's nothing through this R in lemurs that fits. So yeah, hopefully the bot will float something for me, but we'll see. I could just cash in mailers for 36, but that doesn't seem that exciting. Completely blowing up the rack. Yeah, I mean, I just can't really score very much here, I don't think. I don't really have anything through this D. I could play Madre for 28 and keeping AIS, which isn't particularly good. I guess I could just do this, but that gives back a pretty big scoring spot too. I don't know. I don't really like any of my options right now. I guess it's possible that playing mailers could be correct. It seems very wrong. Wow, just dough for 8 by the bot. Very interesting. Now probably air aim over here is right. I mean, it's 35 points. I can't imagine I should fish here with a 35-point play available that still holds the S. So this is definitely better than mailers. I mean, I could take the position that dough indicates a very good lead, which of course it does, and I should try to block a little bit on the left, but the thing is, it's a tie game. I don't think I want to be too overly defensive, and I'm still scoring 35, keeping IS. Like, I'll be taking a 34-point lead, so even if the bot bingos for 70, I'm not in particularly bad shape. Like, I'm just not... I think it's too early to start sacrificing very big amounts of equity to block. And I mean, he can still bingo pretty easily after mailers. So yeah, I think let's just do this. It's not worth it to do this, right? I mean, 16 points. Yeah, it's 19 fewer points. That's just way too many to give up. So yeah, let's just do this, score a little bit. Pull the Q, but at least I'll have some plays with it. Aquatics with a U doesn't fit here. But obviously I can just play Qua, shed the Q, and keep a good leave. So this is not so bad. If that doesn't stay open on me, I have QI here. It's considerably worse because it keeps the duplicate A's. But it's still something at least that gets rid of the Q. Yeah, Qua almost certainly is going to be best here. I could play Quay as well, but... Wow, fortunate for me that the bot does not bingo. It draws a Y, or I assume it drew a Y. I can't imagine it would ever play Do keeping a Y. So Oi comes down for 20. I mean, yeah, I think Qua still has to be correct, right? Like, what else am I going to do? It doesn't make sense to play Cot over here. It's not like the bot's going to be setting itself up here for a big play. The J is gone. And based on the play of Do, I think it's probably got a bunch of one-pointers and it just drew the Y and it's still got good bingo tiles. So I'm not worried at all about the OE hooks. And Qua has to be my best equity play. I think it's better than Quay. The I definitely helps balance out this leave. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. And what do I have here? Is there something? I don't... Well, now there is. Now I have curtails. So the bot bingoed, which is not great, but at least I have a bingo back. And it does fit, thankfully. I curtails rustical. I don't think there's anything through that P. I don't think I have any 7s either. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. And a very nice draw here. ZX blank. So I'll hopefully be able to now score a little bit and then bingo and put this one away. Alright, I was going to probably burn the blank for something there. I'm not even sure what. There must have been something. I guess I would have had DXs for 60 at the minimum. Probably something with the Z there as well. But alright, waiver comes down for 48. Do I have anything with Quay now? I must, right? Huh. Do I have nothing with Quay that doubles the Z or the X? That's bizarre, but maybe I don't. Huh, interesting. I mean, I have Quad as well. I guess I could play Dex, but that seems foolish, just giving back an easy 40-point play. Maybe? Yeah, I think XI. There's no S's left for cheese. This seems fine, actually. It keeps a great leave. I'm not really worried about underlaps ending in an I. 36 points. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Let's just look for another minute here. I have time. Anything here? I don't think so, because of IX. And then here, yeah, if I had an O, I could play Do for a lot of points. D-O-U-X, but I don't. So that's not going to really work. Yeah, I mean, I could just drop the Z. That doesn't seem to have too much merit. I think let's just play XI over here. Score some points. Get rid of one of my 2 high pointers. Okay, a little bit of a clunky draw there of FH. I'm still in very good shape, though. I have a lead. I have a blank and very good scoring tiles. So as long as the bot doesn't bingo somehow, I should be in pretty good position to win this game, I have to imagine. I need to be a little bit mindful of my vowel situation and just make sure I don't end up stuck with no vowels, but as long as that doesn't happen, I should be okay. I guess there's this F in flea pits that could potentially be bingoed from, although it's certainly not easy to do. And yeah, there is this line under the X and XI. He'd have to end with an I or even more and probably a U if he wants to bingo there. Because again, there's no S's left for QIS. If there were S's left, I would have been much more apprehensive. And trade 5 for the bot. Wow. Interesting. What do I make of that? What do I make of that? I have no idea. I mean, this pool is... I guess there's a lot of ends left. This pool is otherwise... Like, there's nothing great, but there's nothing horrible, it doesn't feel like. Interesting. Curious to see what the bot had. Either way, though, I don't think it changes my next play, which is going to be flush for 41, holding DZ blank. So, yeah, this just has to be correct. And a pretty reasonable draw there. Close to anodized or Dadzine, perhaps, if I get the right tiles. But yeah, I'm up nearly 60 points here. Feeling pretty confident. I'll just play something like Zin on my next turn. Well, do I want to do that? I probably don't want to do that, actually. It takes a lot of back hooks. But something there has to work, right? I don't actually know what else I have that uses the Z there. But I don't necessarily, I mean, I could also, honestly, you know what I could do? I could play Ridden for 30 and figure either the bot has to waste a turn going there, or I'm going to score 60 next turn with my Z. That's actually perfectly reasonable. Another reasonable option, honestly, is just burning the blank with size for 56. I mean, all of these plays pretty much end the game on the spot, I feel like. So fourth comes down. Yeah, I mean, this pool is just not great. The bot could certainly bingo, but it's extremely unlikely. Ridden seems fine, because the nice thing about Ridden is if the bot were to bingo, say, through this T in fourth, or even somehow, if I guess Coenuri, like Coenuri, could happen with XI. But even if it does, there's literally no way with this leave that I don't score 60 plus points hooking or going through the N in Ridden next turn, which should be more than enough to win. So that seems fine. Another thing that's fine, like I said, is just playing size for 56, taking a, what would that be, 88-point lead, and also blocking XI. Like, is it possible if I draw no vowels and the bot bingos through the T that I could lose, though? It's maybe possible. So I feel like Ridden is a little bit better, just to avoid that possibility. Because, like, even if I draw no vowels after Ridden, right? Even, I mean, it's like, as long as I draw a C or a G, I'll still have Zinc or Zing. Like, the odds of me not having a play there are close to 0. I feel like Ridden is probably better than sized for that reason. I mean, let's face it, the odds of me drawing no vowels after sized are astronomically small anyway. And as long as I draw one, I should be able to outrun anything. Ridden is probably better for spread, though, anyway. Like, I would definitely play Ridden in a tournament, I think, just because, again, I'm so likely to hit a 60-point play there next turn. I guess the thing is, though, right, like, realistically, how often is the bot bingoing? Probably not very. And when the bot doesn't bingo, it is probably just going to play there. And there would still be 3 in the bag. So, I don't know, size probably simplifies it a little bit more, just because as long as I draw one vowel, there's pretty much no way to lose. I mean, I could potentially have to worry about some setups, but it's pretty hard to imagine. Like I said, I think either of these plays, it's pretty hard to imagine losing, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I mean, Zin is also fine, right? Like, if the bot plays something there for a lot, like if it plays Bice, I should be able to block what I need to next turn. Like, if I play carefully on my next turn, guys, I'm probably just going to win either way. So, I don't want to overanalyze this too much. It's worth mentioning, too, I don't know if I mentioned before, I do have a 7 on this rack, right? I do have Dizened, but it doesn't play. I don't know if I mentioned that before. I think I just mentioned Anodized and Dainzine, but I do actually have a 7 here. Anyway, yeah, so it's between Ridden and Sized, I think. I think I'll just play Sized to take out Coenuri and stuff, because that could be annoying to block, and now I don't have to worry about it. So, let's just do that. Alright, I draw enough vowels here. This is certainly going to be fine. Yeah, I mean, you kind of hate to burn a blank for something that's not a bingo or truly massive play with a rack that strong, but, I mean, this just seems pretty foolproof. Yeah, I mean, now, I guess I have to just be a little bit careful and make sure I'm blocking effectively. Because there is the F in flesh as well as the T and H in fourth. But as long as I block, or honestly, even if I don't block, as long as I leave one in the bag, I should be fine. Like, I could also, if I just play Die, this has to win, right? Because I guess if the bot gets down Nocturne or something, like Nocturne, then that's 70. Yeah, I'll be up 10 plus a turn. Like, this certainly wins. If I play, like, I want to be careful about doing something like this. Like, am I 100% confident with 3 in the bag that there's nothing there? Or like a 9? Not enough to risk the game. Ain here, again, this should work. If there could be something from this F, though. Like, Frowns doesn't work. Foregone doesn't work. I don't think there's anything, but it's just, there's no reason, especially in a game where spread doesn't matter, to risk the game on it. Like, I'm 100% confident I'm winning if I do this. Because like I said, even if the bot bingos for 70, I'll have another play and win the game. Like, this is just much more sound. Oh, well, now I have anti-gene. Look at that. I didn't even think about that aspect of it, that I could draw a bingo. And, alright, the bot plays Nocturne without the E at the end. So, blocking my anti-gene to bingo out. And O, so the bot is certainly going to go out. Do I have anything with Nocturne here now? That gets to the triple. Engine is too long. Image doesn't fit. Genie doesn't get there. I might not. I could play Engine through this N over here for 27. That seems reasonable. If I don't have a play with Nocturne, then that's probably correct, and I'm not seeing it. So, alright, yeah, let's go ahead and play Engine, and the bot's going to certainly go out, probably with Con, yep. And alright, we get a win, 492 to 419. Pretty good game overall. I felt like once I drew the second blank, I was pretty much all set. But I still had to think a little bit. So yeah, let's look at this one. So we start off with a lot of fireworks, flea pits, and batsmen. Glad I found batsmen. It's the only double-double, so it's best by a mile. Keto comes down. I guess I could just do that. I didn't really think about 3-tile plays, to be honest. I maybe got a little too fixated on playing off 4 tiles here. I still don't love this play because it gives back a lot of overlaps above AE, right? I mean, you can put a H there, a W. There's a lot of tiles that go there that could score pretty well, especially if the bot plays a cross above the MA and the UP. So I think, honestly, I think Meow is still fine. It's only 3 fewer points. It still gets rid of an extra vowel. So I think that's okay. Yeah, I could do Griggs or Iggs here. It wouldn't be a terrible decision, I don't think, like I said, just to block that spot. And oh, let's go back to Lemur here. So the bot, interesting. So it has Diluter and it doesn't play. And it goes for Lemur. Interesting. Not just going... Yeah, I could see not wanting to play Trilled and just blow up this rack completely and keep a U. I would have probably played Fluid. I mean, it seems like a much more sound play to me. Like, it's 4 fewer points. ERT is pretty comparable to DEIT. They're both really good leaves, and you don't give back that big S-hook with 3 left. Like, it's a tie game, basically. It just doesn't feel necessary to do that. It's very interesting to me that the bot is completely cavalier about just opening up this S-hook. Like I said, the difference between Lemur and Fluid is small. It's 4 points. I mean, that's something. It's not a ton. And, like, DEIT is just not that much better than ERT, if at all. ERT is a fantastic leave, too. I get not wanting to play Trilled, but I don't know. It's just, if you were down a lot, I get it. But in a tie game, I don't know. It certainly goes against conventional wisdom, at least as far as I know it. And I would think, as far as most top human players know it, to do this. It just doesn't feel necessary. Like, why give your opponent a possible huge play if you have a comparable option that doesn't? So, I don't know. Interesting play of Lemur. Maybe partially is the bot trying to, like, make me think it has an S and try to get me to sacrifice points to block it. Like, that's possible, but it still just doesn't seem worth it. In any case, though, another very interesting play by the bot. Curious what you guys think of that one. Do you think Lemur is a good play? Do you think it's crazy? Because I'm not sure I think it's crazy, but I think it's just unnecessary. So, curious what you guys think of that one. Yeah, Jigs looks pretty good here, and the bot has an infamous rack that doesn't make a 7, at least in NWL. I'm pretty sure Everties is good in Collins with an ISE, but we are not playing Collins here, so no bingos play. Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to fish with this rack. You really don't want to do this and just blow everything up. I mean, you've got EARST, which is one of the best, if not the best, 5-tile leave in Scrabble. That doesn't involve a blank, so hard to not fish here. Yeah, I think this is forced. I mean, it's just not worth it to fish for 8 points when I can score 35 and still keep a pretty good leave. And the bot pulls a Y, so very fortunate for me that the bot did not bingo with that leave. Oh. Yeah, I just didn't even see that. That's sloppy. Yeah, I mean, it blows up the rack a little more, but this leave is not that strong. I mean, it's a good leave. It's not that good a leave. And this board is not great for bingoing. Yeah, I should totally take the 12 points here. Also, I mean, the S setup is actually not that big a deal because I'm not going to really get anything more than the 3. But it's 12 more points. It's just a better play. I mean, I could make the argument, I guess, that, I could make the argument the bot is fishing and that a quit definitely gives back more bingos on, say, row 12 right here as well as row 14, just because the A is, of course, a lot easier to overlap than the Q is. So I could say that Qua is better for bingo defense, but 12 more points, more turnover for the blank. A quit is definitely a better play. So sloppy miss on my part. Bot gets down Priestley. Luckily, I do end up getting Curtails to come back. And then Waver. Yeah, here I was starting to feel pretty confident because I have so many scoring tiles as well as the blank. XI looks good. There's just no reason to do this. I give back high for 47 points so often for really no good reason. Yeah, here too, that definitely don't want to do that with 3Es unseen for possible bingos with Axe or even just big plays under there. So yeah, XI seems pretty good. Tough draw for the bot here. So this is where our traded 5. Huh, interesting. Not wanting to take in. I guess figuring... Yeah, at this point in the game, it's not down much. Could have even played... Well, yeah, I get not wanting to play win with all the hooks unseen. Hin takes a D and a T. Wow, interesting. I mean, this just like... Instinctively, this doesn't feel like a situation where trading is necessary. So what did it keep? It kept HR, which I guess makes sense. I guess it just really felt like I needed the blank at this point, because it's, like, even if it ties the game, it's down a tempo with a bad rack. It's just in a really bad position. So, interesting play by the bot here, going all in and trying to draw the blank, which of course it wasn't going to get. I probably kept the H as well for the spot I ended up using with Flesh, because that's a nice scoring spot. And then 4th, yeah, I guess figuring it at least opens some bingo chances through the T. And yeah, here I burned the blank. Like I said, I mean, all of these plays should pretty much win all the time as long as I'm careful. On my last play, Ridden is fine as well. Zin is fine there. This is also fine, I guess. I mean, Ko and Yuri, though, I could run into some trouble if that comes down, or Guarani or something down there. I think, honestly, I'm fine with my play, because the line under the X could become annoying to block, and there is some stuff, like I said, Ko and Yuri, Guarani, probably a few other things that the bot could fish for that'll score quite well. So, this seems fine to me. Leave 6 in the bag, so if the bot bingos, I'll be up 10 points in a tempo. It'll be an easy one in the endgame. And yeah, here, like I said, there's just... Like, here I could actually lose, right? Like, this would be a very sloppy play, because if I do this and the bot bingos out with Nocturne, I think... Well, do I lose, actually? It would be close. 466, so plus 84, Nocturne 70, plus 14. Yeah, I would draw 3. I would lose by 2. So, like, you need to be really, really careful, guys, in these kind of positions, right? Like, if you're in a tournament, make sure you count the tiles left, because... If you don't, and you forget that there's only 3 in the bag, and you do this and empty the bag, well, if you draw GON out of the bag, the bot's bingoing out with Nocturne, and you're going to lose by 2 points. And those kind of losses are just horrible. Like, they're so preventable. All you have to do is count the number of tiles in the bag. And yeah, I don't block anything with this, but if Nocturne comes down or some other bingo I miss, then that's fine. There's still 1 in the bag. I'm going to be up 10 points, and I'm going to get another turn, and I'm going to be able to score 20 and easily outrun the bot. So, just, you know, another reminder, guys, you got to count the tiles in the bag. I've seen so many games lost at all levels. You know, less often with top players, but it happens. People are sloppy, and they just... All you got to do in a tournament is say, I'm counting tiles, grab the bag, count the number of tiles. That's all you got to do. Just in these kind of positions, when you have to recognize that the only way you're losing with this kind of lead is if your opponent not only bingos, but bingos out. And you got to just count the tiles. It's really... as simple as that, and as long as you know there's 3 in the bag, you know if you don't empty the bag, you're going to win this game, and that's exactly what I did. Like, to block through the T, you just have to be really, really confident that there's nothing through this F, or that you're not giving anything back, which is probably better for spread if you're really, really confident, but I wasn't 100% confident, and with spread not really relevant here, I decided it just wasn't worth the risk. So, Nocturne, and then Engine, and then Con. And, alright, pretty clean game overall. I think the one turn I'd like back is Qua. I should have seen a quit there. That was a little bit sloppy. Otherwise, pretty routine game. A few interesting decisions. Meow was maybe not best, but otherwise I feel like I played a pretty good game. A few really interesting decisions by the bot. I still don't really understand Lemur over just something like Fluid. It didn't seem necessary, but... I don't know. Maybe the bot knows something I don't, or maybe the bot is wrong. It's hard to say. But like I said, curious what you guys thought of Lemur. The exchange later on was interesting too by the bot when it traded 5 when it had some other plays. But I think that's reasonable because, like I said, it's in a tough position. It really needs the blank. It needs to get a better rack. It's just not going to win if it tries to plow through that. So, yeah, interesting game. Glad to come away with a win there. And that is it, guys. We are officially halfway through this series, which is kind of crazy. It feels like it was just yesterday that the Hasty Bot series ended and we started this one. So it's been a wild ride so far. Obviously, it was a tough start. I think I was like 1-8 to start, and then I won a bunch of games, and then the bot kind of got on another streak. And when all is said and done, we end up with 21 out of 50 wins. So not too bad, honestly, all things considered. I feel pretty happy with that. I feel pretty happy with how I've been playing. Had some really fun games. And yeah, so we're currently on pace to get 42 wins out of 100. Hopefully we'll end up getting more than that if we can pick up the winning rate a little bit in the second half of the series, but we will see. And most importantly, I really appreciate all of you guys' support and enthusiasm so far, and all of your questions and thoughts in the comment section. Really, really do appreciate it. So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I hope you all stay with me and continue all of your great engagement in the second half of the series. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks again for all the